In the Message translation of Galatians 6, verse 4-5, we read, "Make a careful exploration of who you are and the work you have been given, and then sink yourself into that. Don't be impressed with yourself. Don't compare yourself with others. Each of you must take the responsibility for doing the creative best you can with your own life." A few months ago, I read a story in John Bevere's book entitled Called that has stayed with me ever since. John shares about a businessman named Stan. After decades of hard work, Stan had built several successful businesses, his family was financially secure, his companies were thriving, and by every worldly standard, he had made it. One day during a conversation with John, he opened up with a question. "John, why should I keep working at this pace? Why should I continue building my business? Why should I spend the next 10 years trying to grow them even more for me?" I think that's a question many of us wrestle with in a different way. Maybe we don't ask, why should I keep building my business? But maybe we ask, why should I keep giving my best at work? Why should I keep serving when no one notices? Why should I keep striving for excellence? Does any of this really matter to God? John didn't answer Stan's question directly. Instead, prompted by the Holy Spirit, he asked him to imagine something. He said, "Suppose I told you that after years of traveling the world, writing books, and preaching the gospel, I was thinking of slowing down because the ministry was doing well and my family was financially secure." Laughing and without hesitation, Stan replied, "I wouldn't want to be in your shoes when you stand before Jesus one day." John simply smiled and said, "Stan, that's exactly what you were saying about your own businesses." And in that moment, a light went on for Stan and everything changed. John explained that God has uniquely gifted every one of his children and that we have 3 choices with those gifts. We can use them to build the kingdom, we can use them to build ourselves, or we can neglect them altogether. That conversation completely transformed Stan's perspective. Over the years that followed, his businesses continued to grow, but something even more significant changed: his purpose. He no longer saw his work as simply building for wealth or providing for his family. He saw his businesses as a platform for advancing God's kingdom. His success was no longer measured only by what he accumulated, but by how faithfully he stewarded what God had entrusted to him. As I read that chapter, I couldn't help but ask myself, what has God entrusted to me? Because the truth is, God hasn't entrusted us all with the same things. Some lead companies, some teach children, some build, some create, some repair, some raise families, some work behind a desk while others work with their hands. But every one of us has been entrusted with something. Jesus tells the parable of the talents in Matthew 25 to remind us that God entrusts each of us with different responsibilities. The focus of the story isn't who received more or less. The focus is faithfulness. Each servant was accountable for what had been placed in their hands. Paul echoes the same truth in Galatians. Make a careful exploration of who you are and the work that you've been given. So today, the invitation is simple. Ask the Lord to make you aware of the gifts that he has entrusted to you. Take a look around you, your place of influence, and take what you have been entrusted with and faithfully steward it today.